Britney Spears has finally opened up to the world on just how bad her conservatorship really is. Now, initially I was wondering if I should actually do a video on this, just because it's such a heavy topic, but I have been covering the Free Britney movement since the beginning, so I wanted to continue to inform people. There's so much that was spilled, so I'm not going to go over every single little thing, but I am going to go over the key points. And it is heartbreaking, also eye-opening, and also just shocking. There's no fan theories, there's no speculation, it came directly from her. I would say the truth is actually much worse than the speculation that fans had going on. I didn't even think it was this bad. I had a feeling there was some sinister stuff going on, but this just takes it to an entirely different level. Britney Spears recently had a court hearing and she wanted everyone to hear it publicly. Since as early as 2014 in court documents, she has been trying to get out of the conservatorship and has actively been trying to get away from her father. But in her recent court hearing, she broke totally new ground and let it all out. A lawyer actually tried to keep this court hearing private, but Britney interjected saying, "They have done a good job at exploiting my life and the way that they've done my life. I feel like it should be an open court hearing and they should listen and hear what I have to say." She then went on about the traumatic things she's been through. "I want to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. You know, fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth. Okay, I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't know how the state of California can have all this written in court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing. I've worked since I was 17 years old, and really that's an understatement because she was on the Mickey Mouse Club. So she's been working for a long time, but she goes on to say, "You have to understand how thin that is for me. Every morning, I get up to know I can't go on somewhere unless I meet people I don't know every week in our office, identical to the one where the therapist was very abusive to me. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive, and that we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. I don't. I don't owe them to go see a man I don't know and share my problems." And she is absolutely right. And then she goes on about her dad. "Dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship in my management who played a huge role in punishing me when I said no, ma'am, they should be in jail." And she's right as well. It's actually crazy that Jamie Spears, her dad, has such a huge power role when he wasn't even around when she was young. It was her mom that was actually her biggest supporter. Her dad was an alcoholic and wasn't present in her life. "I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, as he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%. He loved it. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only thing similar to this is called sex trafficking. And that is heartbreaking, but also an important thing that I noticed is that she realizes how powerful she is. When she says, someone as powerful as me, so she's aware of her status and how much people adore her. The last time I spoke to you by just keeping the conversation going because I should go. Also, keeping my dad in the loop made me feel like I was dead, like I didn't matter, like nothing had been done to me, like you thought I was lying or something," she told the judge. "I'm telling you again because I'm not mine. I want to feel heard, and I'm telling you this again so maybe you can understand the depth and the degree and the damage that they did to me back then. I want changes, and I want changes going forward. I deserve changes," and yes, she does. Speaking about her family, she said, "It's not fair. They're telling me lies about me openly, even my family. They do interviews to anyone they want on news stations. My own family doing interviews and talking about the situation and making me feel so stupid, and I can't say one thing. And my own people say I can't stand to say anything. I want a recorded call, actually we're doing this now, which I didn't know that we were doing this, but the public needs to know what they did to me." She also spoke about her medication and how it made her feel drunk, and how when her past doctor died, she got on her knees and thanked God. She was forced to do a tour in 2018. She couldn't hire her own attorneys. She was punished by her management for saying no to a dance move. And she followed that by saying, "I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move." She talked about how she could barely have a conversation when her therapist put her on lithium. And she said, "Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. My dad acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away, when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it. My whole family did nothing." It's really sad that it's her own family that took advantage of her and is taking advantage of her. If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. She also told the judge that she wants to sue her family and of course for the conservatorship to end. She also says, "All I want is to own my money for this and my boyfriend to drive me in his car." And considering my family has lived off my conservatorship for 13 years, I won't be surprised if one of them has something to say going forward and say, "We don't think this should end. We have to help her." One of the most gut-wrenching parts is when she reveals that she wants to have a child but cannot do so. I was told right now in the conservatorship, I'm not able to get married or have a baby. I have an IUD inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the IUD out so I could start trying to have another baby. But this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out, because they don't want me to have children, any more children. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have 2 or 3 year break and just, do what I want to do. But I do feel like there's a crunch here, and I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it. But I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, all I hear is these no's, no's, no's. And then all of a sudden, I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody else does, by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. That's all I wanted to say to you. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you today. If you would like to read the full exchange, I will link it down below. But my thoughts on this is that it is so much to take in and so gut-wrenching. I cannot believe this actually happened. But I will say I do think it's something that's necessary and was long overdue to happen. For Britney herself to speak her truth, which we all have wanted. She's such a guarded figure now that we don't really know anything about her personally. So to hear it come from her mouth is validation. But not only is it validation to the Free Britney movement, it is her story. And it puts a huge spotlight on the horrible abuse she's experienced under this conservatorship. And this is something that happened to one of the most famous people on earth. Imagine how many people it's happened to who don't have this type of platform. It's insane. For Britney to tell her story in such a fierce way, it is truly courageous, and I commend her. She was not only felt by the people around her, but she was also felt by a faulty system, and I hope that she's able to beat that system. It's not solely about Britney the pop icon anymore, it's about human rights. The truth was so much more worse than anyone could ever imagine. She was stripped of her freedom and voice for 13 years, and she's still fighting it. She's such a strong woman to tell her testimony without any restrictions and being so open about it. #FreeBritney.